Chelsea, look out! Chelsea, look, I found a machete. Oh, hey, it's Alex from episode 16.
What's up, Alex? How's the board game? I'm here with Alex. That was once the Nexus project and has transformed into Travelers of Storia. Now, we started with episode 16, and now we have fast-forwarded like 6 months, and you have now completed your board game. You gotta take me through the ups and downs, and the tribulations, and the challenges, and then to the euphoria.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not quite at the euphoria yet,
euphoria, okay.
There was a moment of euphoria for sure. So I think the last major hurdle that I talked to you about was artists, and I had some people that I had talked to. No, won't do any name drops, but I had talked to a few people, kind of ran some numbers by them because I'm not some multinational corporation that can throw thousands of dollars at art. So yeah, so I basically had a price point, and all the artists I talked to were very receptive, but we just nothing was. There were never any irons in the fire that they would come up with and show me. So nothing was getting done. I think I lost a good couple months of time just trying to work with the artists. So in my frustration, I went on Google and started searching how to do character art and how I could do this, and found a wonderful resource, and I definitely want to give this guy's website and name credit. His name is
let's drop it.
Jeff A. Bear, and I had to write him to make sure I got the pronunciation on that right, because it was like H-E-B-E-R-T, but he said A. Bear, and his website is heromachine.com.
Okay.
So all the art was made by me and Jake Face, another name drop credit in helping me design a lot of this stuff. But his resource, Jeff A. Bear's resource, let you design character models. Oh. So he had imagine like a dress-up program. So you would get like a character, you could make it a male or female, choose skin tone, choose eyebrows, like everything was variable. Oh. So that was it was awesome. And we came up with, over a series of months and months, we came up with all the characters for the game, which was, I think, well over 200 pictures. And yeah, it took forever. And then the background art was just pictures that I basically learned how to use Photoshop thanks to Dayton Beggy, Magic playing friend of mine, who also designed the template on the cards. And it was it was awesome to basically learn some Photoshop basics.
Absolutely. Go
in there and just start going to town. Yeah. I'm very proud of how it came out. I think it looks great.
So you have your art, you definitely have your template now. What's the next step for the game?
Marketing, which is something I'm very terrible at, but working to get better, yes. So I've always kind of been disgusted with marketing a little bit. It's pretty gross being like, buy me, stuff like that. But in this case, I know that there are people that would enjoy this game. Because if you think about, in my opinion, when I think of marketing or a company that produces a game, they're not producing a game that one type of gamer would like. You know what I mean? They're producing something that the most amount of gamers would like, or the most amount of consumers would enjoy. This is not that. This is not for everybody. I make no qualms about that. No, not at all.
Particular.
This is definitely for people who like RPGs, people who like deck building card games, people who like cooperative play. So it is a very
your niche.
It is a very niche game, but it's a niche that I haven't been able to find, replicated anywhere. And I wouldn't have built the game if there was a game like this, because this is what I've been kind of hunting for my whole life. Is I want to play with my friends. I don't want to have to go head to head and one of us gets upset when one of us loses or wins or whatever. There's not that. It's you're working together against the game, just like Dungeons and Dragons, but you get to use cards and sort of pre-construct your deck, which is really what makes Magic fun. Arguably the main thing that makes Magic the Gathering fun is being able to pre-construct and come up with your own ideas.
Yes, hello, I am VonAwesome with an exciting thing to share with you today. Have you ever found yourself the accidental inventor of the next great thing in tabletop gaming but no idea where to go from there? I know I have, and now you can too. Oh god. With our system, we can and will take your idea from figment of your imagination to fun across the whole nation.
Tabletop gaming is so very hot right now, so why would you miss this chance to be streets ahead? Board games, word games, card games, dice games.
It's no matter, we do them all. Our patent-pending 634-step process will take your game from idea phase to next hot craze, and we can show you how to mass-produce, advertise, and then distribute directly to our mobile retail outlets, and so on. So call 555-462-6273 and tell our standing by operators, I want that!
It was called Project Nexus the first time we interviewed, because I didn't have the name yet ready. The Nexus is still very much part of this game. You can see I've got this card here, a little bit of a picture. That's what the Nexus looks like, and it's kind of integral to the story of the game. But the whole game takes place on Storia, hence the name, Travelers of Storia. And Storia is a planet that's thousands of times bigger than Earth. And all over Storia are Nexus portals, like that card I just showed you, those little green gates. So if you walk into the Nexus, you're randomly transported to somewhere else on the planet, and you don't have any control over it. The Nexus just takes you somewhere. So the ones who go through the Nexus are known as the Travelers. Because the planet's thousands of times bigger than Earth, you're never going to see your homeland again once you decide to go through the Nexus. So some people don't. They just want to stay in their, villages and homes and kingdoms. And some people, like wanderers or fortune hunters are the ones that really go through the Nexus. So they're a part of the game in that as you travel and do quests, you recruit travelers from the Nexus to help you, and sort of think of them as like mercenaries that are out to hire that help you along the way. So the storyline, I had written I believe it was close to 20-page story. I thought it was okay. It needed some work. It needed some editing. I contacted, just on a hunch, an acquaintance friend of mine, Lisa Noner. She was a creative writing teacher in New Mexico at the time, and I just sort of contacted her out of the blue, told her my situation. I was making a board game. I had written this story. I thought it needed work. I'd really love it if she could, take a look at it. It's kind of a funny story. I knew her through a friend. She had given book recommendations to this friend, and then that friend had hooked me up with the books from her, and I read them. I'm like, whoa, who recommended these books? They're really good. So just from that was like how I got the sort of, intuition to contact her, just because I really thought it was cool, the stories that she had recommended. And she was very positive and was like, thanks for thinking of me of it. It's like, I'd love to take a look. Just fast forward a couple weeks later, she had asked some really great questions. We'd had some really engaging dialogue about which direction I wanted the story to go. She came back with an edit, she'd revised it. I took a look at it. I was blown away with how great she did. She added plenty of pages of content, had updated what I had done. So I, sent another revision back to her. So we did that a couple times, and it finally got to a place that I was very happy with where the story was. And I just need to make sure that she gets credit for that, because she just really did an amazing job. And I'm hoping that in future campaigns of the game, expansions of the game, I can use her again for future stories.
Absolutely, and that's a good point for you to make too about this board game, is that there's a lot of hands in this, and this is a great opportunity for everybody to have their imprint with where they're best at, where their qualities come through. You admit you're not the best writer of sorts or the best artist, but if you kind of merge all those together, you created this board game and allowed these people to use their talents in a totally different fun
absolutely.
way.
It's like a two-way street.
Yeah.
You know? They're helping me. I'm hoping to help them when this is released. They've got credits in the book. I'd be happy to use them in the future. Tack their name on, you know, whatever. They can use me for resumes or anything like that, you know, for future work that they want to do related to this.
And now I know you have a website up.
Travelersofstoria.com. Straightforward.
So people can really dive into understanding it. You know, obviously you're not going to get that all right out of this episode.
Yeah, the game.
You know, 'cause
what's nice is it's easy to learn.
Exactly,
and
it very much so is.
And it's complicated to be good at. That's the difference, and that's like kind of what. Yeah.
There's your tagline.
Yeah.
We just locked down a tagline right for this man right here.
So you can dive right in.
Welcome
you know,
to the experiment.
Chelsea, you had how long did it took you? Just a matter of minutes to sort of figure out the basics of it.
Yep.
And then if you want to get very proficient at it, very good, I would say it takes many hours to really get, you know, that which is, in my opinion, the mark of a good game. You want it to be. I didn't want it to be. I didn't want the barrier of entry to be ridiculous, because then it's like, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to put into it.
Yep.
But you can learn it quick. But to be good at it, it really does take some time. So it's got a good balance, and I'm very happy with that.
So Alex, is there a way for anybody to get the board game now?
Not yet. So I still have to figure out from people who will distribute the individual pieces, because I actually have to give credit to one more company. The one who actually produced this prototype for me, MN Design, EN Design, and they were just some people I'd known. One was a former college professor, and they both were Magic players at one point. So I had talked to them back when we did our first interview, and they were all ready to go. They just were waiting for me to finish everything. So I definitely want to give them credit. They did a great job on this prototype. But I need to actually find some distributors for, you know, some of the major parts that maybe they will have a harder time producing in, you know, in excess. So I have to crunch some numbers on that. I have to go and figure out how much I need to raise on the Kickstarter.
Absolutely.
But a Kickstarter is definitely on the horizon in the next couple months, I'm hoping.
So stay around, stay tuned, keep searching, go on his website, and we will definitely let you know when that Kickstarter is up. And I know that I'll be throwing you some cha-ching.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
appreciate that.
Mom's going to help him out. And thank you so much. This is just so impressive. It just proves that, you know, if you put your mind to anything, you can do it. And, you know, who would have known that many moons ago when I met you that we'd be sitting here now and I'd be hosting a show and we'd be talking about a freaking board game that you created.
Yeah, no, a year ago, this whole project would have, if I had shown myself this a year ago, I think I would have been shocked. So I was pretty much in hermit recluse mode for the last year, just really dedicating a lot of time to this and getting playtesters in and just making sure that the game's balanced and fun, you know.
So let's drop the website again, Travelers of Storia.
Travelersofstoria.com.
Oh.
And seemsgoodmagic.com if you're into Magic the Gathering content. That's my other website where I record draft videos for that. And yeah, those are my two websites. I have forums on travelersofstoria.com, so I'd be happy for people to join up with that, ask any questions, and I'll be happy to answer anything.
And this is the first board game of many.
Yes.
I can see it now.
Oh, absolutely. It is addicting. It's addicting. Making board games is absolutely addicting.
I guess we're gonna be like, what the fuck?